This episode of the Wayang Crew podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Wayang Crew podcast. It's me, Kevin, as usual, on this podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei, Darussalam. This week, we will be giving you our thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the second Spider-Man film overall. I think this is like the seventh.
Since forever?
Yeah, it's the seventh Spider-Man film from Sony. It's a new Superman. It's Spider-Man.
Whoa.
It's Tom Holland reprising his role as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. But first, let's get to our panel this week. First up, it's Del.
Hello.
What's up?
I almost fell asleep before coming here because it's been such a tiring weekend.
Yes, we've had a couple of shows.
We've had a couple of shows which I didn't even perform, and yet I feel tired.
There's just so much energy being, spent and used.
Yeah.
All right. Overall, how did you think the shows went?
It's all right. Good. We had a good show last night. I think everyone who came really enjoyed it. It was really packed too. So it's going to be even more packed next week.
We've got one more show, which is happening on the 12th of July. That's our headliner show for Brouhaha. And he's back this week.
That's why the show's packed.
It's our big boss man. It's Zainal Busterman. Welcome back to the show.
What's up, Kev?
What's up?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm very good.
How was the shows for you?
Well, I hosted one. Well, I hosted a quarter
That's true.
of the shows.
Half of the first show, yeah.
And yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was nice.
All right. We saw a lot of new faces this week.
Yeah, and good to be back on station Brunei as well.
Yeah. And you did your first ever Malay set.
That was awkward very awkward. I
Why though?
Because I don't, it's been a while since I naturally just speak and think in Malay, and then to come back and say, okay, now I gotta be funny in Bahasa. One of my greatest fears was going on stage and then suddenly just switch
To English.
which I did a couple of times. Anyways, I said so. I don't even know what.
But you tried really hard because I met you early yesterday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he refused to speak to me in English. He was just speaking to me in Malay.
in Malay. And then people kept coming up to me, like Hazwan would come up and start speaking in English. I said, no, enough of this language of penjajah, this conqueror's language. I want to practice.
But I got you. You spoke to me in Malay. I answered you in English, and
That was a struggle, man. What are we doing?
Oh, I see.
I did. He did that with me, and I didn't realize he was talking to me.
Yeah, because no one speaks to you in Malay. All right, up next, it's the other co-host of the podcast. She's also back. It's Nazu. What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. 2 shows past 2 days.
Yeah, you
Very
performed
tired.
at both shows.
Yeah, I
both English and Malay. Well done.
Should have picked just one.
Wow.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired of trying to make people laugh.
But it's rewarding at the same time.
Yeah,
you see?
I guess.
Anyway, we do have another show that's happening this coming week on the 12th of July. If you still want to get tickets, good luck to you because it's fully sold out. Although do stay tuned, we may have a special announcement further down the week. But we'll see. Anyway, let's get to the first bit of the show, which is the news. And we got a couple of trailers this week. First up, we got a Jumanji trailer. So last week we talked about it on the show. We said that, it was probably going to come out the next week, and it did. It came out, I think, on a Tuesday. And it's really called Jumanji The Next Level. And we see the same cast from the last movie. We have Kevin Hart, The Rock, Jack Black, and what's her name? Karen Gillian. They're all back reprising their roles from the first movie. And there's a slight twist in this one because Kevin Hart, his character is, I guess the player is the grandfather of one of them, which is Danny Glover.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have The Rock, who is
Danny
being
DeVito.
controlled by Danny DeVito.
I don't like this twist.
You don't like it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Let's see. I guess it'll turn out funnier than what's in my head. But at the moment, I don't know. I don't like change.
What?
You don't like change.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
So
true.
they're looking for Alex Wolff.
Yep, they're looking for
who
Alex
is supposed to be Dwayne Johnson's player
Yeah.
from the first movie. So
I wonder what he's gonna be. Bad guy, maybe.
nah.
Nick Jonas is also back in this
Yeah.
movie. His character is that pilot guy or whatever it was. I can't remember his
Yeah.
name now. Are we looking forward for this? It looks good, Zainal?
very neutral about this.
You're neutral about
Very
this.
neutral. I did not know that they were gonna make another Jumanji. I thought they were done.
No. They made the first one with Robin Williams, and then it was a
Yeah,
long
as in-
hiatus, and then they made this one back in 2017.
It made so much money.
So much money.
Because it's The Rock and Kevin Hart.
And Jack
And-
Black
and
and
Karen.
Karen Gillan.
And Nick Jonas.
Yes,
Nick-
I'm actually gonna watch the second one for Nick Jonas.
You are gonna watch it. All right. You're a Nick Jonas fan?
Yeah.
He's married.
Wait,
And-
that doesn't
Which is
stop.
weird that I know this.
And why would you think it would stop people from going?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's
When I found out Michelle Pfeiffer got married, I stopped liking her.
Oh.
That's not true. That's not true.
Like they're going, okay, that's my chance.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over for me.
So long, Catwoman.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Meow.
Meow.
Yeah.
We also got a trailer this week for another movie that's coming out. It's called Knives Out, and it's an all-star cast. There's a lot of people in this movie, including Chris Evans, Captain America himself. We also have James Bond. He's in this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie. I mean, by James Bond, I mean Daniel
Daniel
Craig.
Craig,
Okay,
okay.
I don't mean.
Right.
I
Pierce
don't,
Brosnan.
yeah.
They won't leave James Bond there.
Sean,
Sure.
Sean
Sean Connery, who's retired from acting and he's like in recluse now. You can't see him in public anymore.
Oh, he's
Whoa.
gone? Where is he? No one knows
probably
where
lives
he
in
is.
his own castle in Scotland.
He used one of those Mission Impossible masks when he comes out.
Sure.
Okay.
So we all saw the trailer for this movie, Knives Out. What do you guys think? This is like a murder mystery thing. It's like Cluedo.
Yeah, it's like Cluedo.
Yeah.
Oh, and Murder on the Orient Express, but like with an American.
Twist.
Yeah.
Didn't they have something similar that came out in on Netflix?
Yeah. Murder Mystery by Jennifer Aniston and
Yeah.
Adam Sanders.
But that was a comedy.
This is
And it was not a
mostly-
very good one.
Was it not?
Did you
Oh,
watch
okay.
it?
I don't know. I want to watch it for the bad guy though.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I mean, watch it, but it's not something I paid for.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
You can stream
You've
it.
already paid for Netflix.
That is true. Anyway, this movie, I still get a kick when I see Daniel Craig doing an American accent.
Yeah.
Because it's so not him to do an
Yeah.
American accent. Like, he did one in Logan Lucky.
And Tomb
Which was
Raider.
great.
Tomb Raider as well.
Yeah.
Did he do it?
Lara, this is crazy.
Sure.
That's your American accent?
No, that's my impression of his.
Doing an American accent.
I always like a good whodunit movie, and this one interests me because I want to see what Ryan Johnson can do after that fiasco.
Oh.
That shall not be named.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then this one feels like he is overcompensating for all the hate that he's getting. So he's like, look at me. I've got Captain America in my movie. I've got
James Bond.
I've got a
Yeah.
couple of Academy Award nominees. I've got the Queen of Horror.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. And I've got that girl from Netflix that everyone likes.
Yeah.
13 Reasons Why.
Oh yeah, she
Oh,
was
yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
She's in it as well.
Yeah, and I've got that kid from It.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in it
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Well, this is coming out at the end of the year, sometime in November, towards the end of the. So it's in the holiday season. Yeah, sure, we'll watch it. I'll watch it. Will you guys watch it?
I will watch
Yeah,
it.
I'll watch it.
I'm looking forward to this. Because I am a fan of Ryan Johnson, even though, that fiasco. But
What is this fiasco you guys are talking about?
The 8th Star Wars movie.
The best one so far.
Whoa, controversy. Big news this week from Disney. They are making a live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. This has been known. Previously, we had some news that they were courting Melissa McCarthy to play the part of Ursula. Now we have an official announcement that a young lady named Halle Bailey is going to be playing Ariel. And this has caused some confusion because you see Halle Bailey and then your mind kind of thinks Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And this became a thing because Halle Berry was trending on Twitter sometime this week. And,
What? She's gonna be
and she was like, what's going on?
I'm the new Little Mermaid?
It's like, oh, no, it's not me. It's Halle Bailey. It's another Halle. But she was a good sport about it. And she tweeted out something to address this. She said, in case you needed a reminder, Halle's get it done. And she congratulated Halle Bailey,
Right.
saying that, this is an amazing opportunity and let's see what you do with it.
Yeah.
I accidentally saw the best comment on social media about this, which was a black little mermaid with dreadlocks. Let's call her Lil Mermaid.
Like Lil Kim.
Oh, Lil.
Little-
Okay.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't know how. to
I look at her and I'm like, no, this is not this is not
This is
my
not the
childhood.
mermaid. Yeah,
Like, I
this
don't
is not
see
the mermaid.
Ariel, you know?
I mean, this is nothing to do with race.
Yeah, if they cast like an Asian girl.
I mean, no, think about it. Like, mermaids live underwater, so they have to be really pale, you know?
Ooh,
No?
that makes sense.
Yeah, they're like, they don't get sunlight.
Maybe,
But this one does because she keeps going up.
She
singing.
sunbathes a lot,
Ah.
You know that's not how people get dark, right?
and she
Plays football a lot in the afternoon.
She doesn't have waterproof
I thought she
suntan
lives like
lotion.
in the Atlantic or something, or like
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
Wait, are they Atlanteans? No,
No,
right?
no,
No,
They're not
but
Atlanteans.
like in, you know,
like an underwater city.
yeah.
Wait,
I thought
they're
it was
not
Scandinavian
Trojan.
or something.
This
The folklore is
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Scandinavia.
and the father is Trident, son of Poseidon.
Son of Poseidon.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So Poseidon is white? Yes.
Poseidon is
Poseidon
Greek.
is Greek.
Greek is white.
Yeah.
Well,
but then
No?
Poseidon.
I don't know.
Mediterranean.
I'm asking.
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean?
Yeah.
So I guess she looks Mediterranean enough.
Okay.
As if I know what Mediterranean
Caribbean.
looks like.
Caribbean.
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 A couple of other people have been sort of, teased to maybe take up some parts. One of them is Jacob Tremblay. I'm not sure who he is.
No.
Jacob Tremblay, the kid from Room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he's Prince Eric, is it?
No,
He's a kid.
no.
Zainal, he's a kid.
He might be voicing Flounder.
Oh yeah, Flounder.
And Aquafina has also been rumored to maybe be voicing the role. Ouch. Wow.
You okay?
Are you shocked that I said Aquafina?
Yeah.
Yes! She's in everything now.
Yeah.
Wow.
She might be voicing Scuttle.
Who's Scuttle?
I don't know who Scuttle is.
I don't know what's Cuddle.
Why
A
are we
sea
adding
creature that scuttles.
new characters?
A new character? Because it was Flounder and Sebastian.
Yeah.
And now it's Flounder and Scuttle. I don't know.
Wait,
who
wait,
this
wait.
is.
Who's the bird? Who's the bird?
I
The
don't
seagull.
know. I don't know.
The seagull.
The seagull's gonna be a girl?
Well,
Oh.
it's Aquafina, so
Oh, maybe she'll have this
No.
kind of voice.
regardless of what we say, we'll just wait and see for a first.
And they
trailer.
don't have an Ursula yet.
They're thinking of getting Melissa McCarthy to play Ursula.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought that's confirmed.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay, it's confirmed then.
I like
Will
to see
this
her
be a
evil
singing?
Yes.
It has to be.
laugh. Yeah,
Because-
because Halle
Really?
Bailey is known for voice.
Okay, yeah.
Also because,
Mulan will not be.
Yeah, right?
No, Mulan is not. But
Man.
Alan Menken, who wrote the original songs, plus Lin-Manuel is writing new songs for this.
For Little Mermaid. Lil Mermaid.
Ah.
It should be a rap song somewhere in there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is Lin-Manuel.
Because-
I bet
Lin-Manuel.
the lobster, what's his name? Sebastian's
Sebastian.
gonna rap.
They haven't- who's gonna be Sebastian?
I'm going to rap after this.
Oh, God.
Who are they gonna get to play Sebastian?
They probably
Will
gonna get
Smith.
No.
No, they'll get Davy Diggs, the original Lafayette from Hamilton. They should do.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
more
Welcome back.
more from the House of Mouse. Marvel Studios has officially confirmed that they will be returning to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con this year, which is starting next week.
Wow.
So we're gonna have some big announcements. They're gonna be, I guess, announcing everything that's gonna be coming out for the next couple
I
of years.
can't wait.
It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a good one. More on Avengers. Now we're still sort of in the Avengers Endgame cloud. People are still talking about it. We talked about it just before
now,
we
yeah.
started recording, and the question was, is it worth going to watch the re-release? And the consensus was maybe not. Wait for the Blu-ray or the digital download.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Russo brothers have addressed a question that we all had at the end of Endgame, which was whether or not Gamora survived the snap. So the Russos have come out and addressed this because they were asked at like a press conference. And they said, I don't understand this answer. They said, the argument could be that Tony wished away all the evil. Was she evil or just the enemy? Is she still alive? Who knows? That's a story for another time.
What? That's,
They didn't address it. Well,
he didn't address anything at all.
They left it open-ended.
I know. She might be, because they're going to make a Guardians 3.
Yeah. And that's not going to be called as Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just Guardians.
Guardians, yeah.
I, for one, think that she will come back for sure,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure to what capacity because we know that she's not the same Gamora. She missed out 9 years.
Yeah.
When she came from 9 years before Endgame.
Yeah.
So she's not the same Gamora, but we'll wait and see.
The easiest way to find out is to see whether the contract that the actress signed
Yeah. She
is still in
I
place.
think she gets paid one of the least too.
She will probably get paid one of the most.
Really?
She's been in 3 major...
Yeah,
Franchises.
franchise.
Yeah, but Fifth and I checked.
Oh, really?
She doesn't
He's one of
get
the
paid much.
not as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
Not even Rocket.
Yeah.
Even more than,
Right,
even
we
less than
checked,
Vin
right?
Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel?
I am.
Wait, really? So it's Chris
Yeah.
Pratt.
No, because we
Groot.
were checking like how much Scarlett Johansson earns, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't compare.
No,
that stuff.
yeah, but then like Gamora was one of the least paid.
Among the female
Yeah.
cast.
Among
so
the
it's
female.
not. Yeah. So it depends on what happened when they signed Guardian.
Yeah.
When they signed the first Guardian, and their contract lasts for like
10 years.
6 movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
6 movies.
They have
Which
to,
is
like-
like 10 years.
They have to write that out and then renegotiate after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about RoboCop. There is a movie that's coming out, and it was announced last year. It's going to be directed by Neil Blomkamp.
Yes.
Who-
It's pronounced as Blomkamp.
Really?
I'm not sure, but yeah.
What? What?
It's South African.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I've heard it pronounced before by another South African.
And it wasn't.
It's not Blomkamp. It's like Blomkamp.
Okay. Anyway, the news is that he provided some updates because he was asked on Twitter on the progress of RoboCop Returns, and he said, "Script is being written, going well. Imagine watching Verhoeven doing a follow-up film."
Okay.
And by Verhoeven, we're talking about the original director, Paul Verhoeven.
So he's comparing himself to the original.
Either that or he's just hinting at how this is going to be more in line with Verhoeven's version, not what we
Right.
got from RoboCop 2 and 3. And it got tamer and tamer as it went along. Because RoboCop is an R-rated character. It's an R-rated movie. It's violent. There's blood.
You're a fan because you have a hot toy,
I have a hot toy that
which is
that's
staring right at me,
right
pointing the gun.
So you have no choice but to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Yes, that's why.
So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm a fan of RoboCop, so please, like, give us a trailer. No, it's just being written. This is gonna take a couple of years, 2 to 3 years.
They'll probably come next year to Comic-Con, and then here we have a snippet.
Or check out the new suit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it'll come out 2021.
2021.
Is it?
I don't know.
I'm just guessing.
No, there is no announcement of the date.
It's 2022 then.
2022. Here's something that's releasing earlier than that in 2020, which is next year. Fast and Furious 9.
Oh,
Now, they began production last week. We found out about this from Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez, who tweeted out a video saying, "Hey, thanks for being friends. We're starting a new movie."
Family.
Oh man.
There was another video that came out, and it features Jordana Brewster, who plays Mia, which is Vin Diesel's character's sister.
Yeah.
And in the movies is wife of Paul Walker, and there was a child in that.
Yeah.
So the kid's a little bit grown up, and the only reason they're back is either just a callback, or are they gonna be part of the movie?
he's gonna start driving at the age of 12.
Yeah.
So
He
he's
looks
gonna
like he's 3 in this picture.
give it 2 more movies.
And then it's about him.
Yeah, then it's about him.
Yeah.
What? Is
Fast
it the
and
ninth?
Furious 15.
Is it the 9th movie
Yeah.
already?
The
What?
ninth movie.
Nice movie.
I still have money on the chance that when they announce Fast and Furious 10, they're gonna call it Fast and Furious X, and they're gonna go into space.
Who are you betting this against?
Myself.
You're gonna lose.
It's gonna happen.
They'll be racing with rockets. Who's going to touch Mars first?
Yeah.
Man.
Speaking of Fast and Furious, one of the actors who is in the spin-off movie Hobbs and Shaw, she is reportedly on the shortlist for the Batman's Catwoman.
Oh, what's her
Ooh,
name? I
ooh,
forgot.
let me guess.
Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah. She does.
I
look
like her.
Yeah,
She was the villain in Mission Impossible
Mission
Fallout.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Not really the villain, but
Well, she was, I guess.
She's got the facial
a
features.
mysterious character that
Yeah.
could pop up again in MI7.
She's got a friendly face, but she at the same time she could kill you.
Yeah.
She's got a British look about her.
She is British.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why.
She's from The Crown.
She's from The Crown.
Says the guy going onto IMDb.
Yep.
He's our fact checker this week.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if she's gonna be cast as the
Yeah.
Catwoman in
She's got the legs.
She has the.
in the
I don't
upcoming by the upcoming Batman movie, we're talking about the one where they casted what's his name?
Patterson.
Robert
Robert
Pattinson. Who's I could
Yeah,
see
I
that.
can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, they're both blonde.
Well,
Not that
Never
it
know.
makes-
Yeah, by the time screen time comes in.
No one will ever take the place of Michelle Pfeiffer.
I know, but
You gotta let it go, man. She's married.
and old.
here's something we may accept really, really well. Terminator Dark Fate, which is coming out in November, 1st November this year. They are going to have a panel at Hall H. So we'll probably get to see more. And Arnold's going to be on stage, I presume. Linda Hamilton's coming back.
But I want what's his name? Not Jon Snow.
John Connor.
Yeah, John Connor.
John Connor.
Yeah, I want John.
Which John Connor?
So
Any
many.
John Connor.
Eddie Furlong?
Edward Furlong.
He's gone off the deep end.
Oh, then I don't know. I just want a John Connor.
Any John Connor?
It's just the John Connor.
The John
for
Connor from the
movie.
last movie? The one that was half cyborg?
Oh gosh, no.
Just give me John
I
Connor.
want a John Connor.
Stop asking questions.
I don't
John
care.
Connor.
I don't care. Just give me something, right? But yeah,
I don't
Feel
care.
something.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Comic Con's next week, so we are going to be getting a load of news from there.
There's no John Connor.
There's no John Connor.
Yeah,
in this.
there's never been what?
Here's something that I wish we were not going to get. It's a sequel to a movie that I never saw coming, and for some reason, it is happening. It's White Chicks.
Yes.
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 It's getting a sequel
Yeah.
I'm excited.
for some reason.
What do you mean? Some
No,
reason.
it is
Terry
expected.
Crews.
I know, but why?
I don't know what this white chick is.
I
so-
want.
You've never seen?
It's the Wayans brothers.
It
and
has
Terry
moved.
Crews.
My God.
They've moved to like cult status by now
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
because it's so relatable. Like
I know.
Relatable.
yeah,
For girls.
black people can watch it and be like haha, and then white people are like yeah, they're kind of like us.
I just find it offensive when they powder themselves so white when they are actually black.
And then white facing.
White face.
White bodying.
White
It's the whole thing. Regardless, Terry Crews
I
mentioned
don't
that
know.
he will be reprising his role and there's going to be a sequel. So,
He will be there.
yeah, he'll be there as well, Terry
Yes.
Crews. He has to. He fell in love with one of them, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
And both of them are coming back.
I guess so. They have
Wayan.
to, right?
Yeah, they have
Wayans.
to.
All right.
The Wayang brothers.
Quentin Tarantino, which has a movie coming out this month.
Yeah.
It's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He says he may quit directing.
Sure,
soon.
sure.
This is movie number what? 10?
9.
Okay, well, he said, I think when it comes to theatrical movies, I've come to the end of the road. I see myself writing film, books, and starting to write theater.
Oh,
Okay, interesting.
theater.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Practice that so much that it doesn't make sense to just leave it.
Yeah, I need
You
it.
need to bring
you
it
need
back.
to use
anywhere.
it. Well, I guess he started this renaissance in a sense where he was the first one to really do these twisty movies and then everything's revealed towards the end in the modern era, like from the 90s.
Yeah.
He brought that back. But lately, I think the quality of his work has been a little draggy.
Yeah.
It has always been draggy.
I mean, what was it? The
Django?
Hateful Eight?
yeah, Hateful Eight was.
That was almost 3 hours long.
I don't even
and it was
remember
set
that
in the
movie.
cabin, and I was like, "Wow, this is
Yeah.
taking a long time to unfold."
it would have if the payoff have been better. That movie would have been good.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that draggy, but I was just waiting for the reveal at the end, which wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, Channing
is
Tatum
true.
pops up and, "Hey, I killed everyone."
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever
trust
he,
Channing Tatum to destroy everything.
whatever he decides to do, we wish him the best of luck. And last bit of news on this week of the podcast: Sylvester Stallone has
Ooh.
started work on Expendables 4.
What?
He's still going, guys.
Oh, is it 70, 80?
I think
Doesn't
he's-
matter.
Well, okay, it doesn't matter. It really does not. It does not have a release date, but he just announced that he is working on a next Expendables movie, and he is now still working on Rambo 5.
Okay.
This guy is not stopping.
Non-stop.
He's the Terminator.
Right?
Well, the Terminator, right? He was the governor.
No, this is Sylvester Stallone.
No,
Yeah, you're saying he's a Terminator.
Yeah.
But by saying that,
Terminator.
you're saying Arnold is
Yeah.
not.
Well,
but
I'm
I'm saying Arnold is.
Okay.
Alright.
Naz and I are both like, sure.
I'm glad we cleared that up. Very important.
We'll
to me.
just edit this out.
Sure. All right, so that's the news this week on the Wayang Crew podcast. Do get in touch with us here on the show via our contact links in the description down below. Which brings us to our review this week of Spider-Man Far From Home. It's the final movie in Phase 3, right, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the closing, not Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
This is the last movie. Directed by John Watts.
Yep.
Who directed the first Spider-Man movie, which starred Tom Holland. It's a continuation of, I guess, the arc of Endgame, where now the world is no longer with Iron Man because of the events of that movie. And Peter Parker, who was very, very close to Tony Stark, feels it in this movie. He sees him everywhere and he's emotionally affected. And I think he's just under a lot of stress and grief that his spider sense, aka his Peter Tingle, is not working at the beginning of the movie. And he's going on a summer holiday with his classmates to Europe. And that's where this movie takes off.
Yep.
Del?
I like the opening. What song did they use? The Whitney Houston one. It got me laughing.
Oh,
When I realized what.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah, that by the high school students, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good opening. There is no better opening that to follow up the ending of Endgame than this one. So I thought it was appropriate. It was also a nice tribute, and
It was a song from the 90s, so you like that.
Oh, shot fired.
The movie itself, it started off, everything that is about the students and their trip and everything that happened during the trip. I liked it. Jake Gyllenhaal's character came in. I liked it. I like how he was represented by Nick Fury and Maria Hill. It's just everything after that when there is a reveal, and then it's sort of, I knew it was coming because I know what this villain is about.
Yeah.
But then after that happened, it's like everything is messy, and it's as if the tech itself can do everything that they want to a point where it becomes reality. And I just find that too far-fetched, even for a movie called Far From Home.
Okay.
Zainal, your thoughts?
I just watched this like a couple of hours ago.
An hour ago.
So I am still fresh and I haven't had time to let my subconscious mind work on it. But overall, I enjoyed it. Some parts of it, I'm kind of like, oh, why did they do that? Why did they write it that way? Why did they edit it that way? But overall, it left me feeling like, oh, this is nice. Peter Parker, in his core, is just a kid. And he's going through kid problems.
Like
and
a crisis,
yeah.
Yeah,
And then in the background, it's like a huge thing. And then Peter Parker has always been, Spider-Man, the draw, has always been, how do I balance a normal life to being a superhero, even though it's being thrust on me? And I think this one captured it really well.
Okay. Naz.
I enjoyed the movie, but I thought the intro was, like Del said, really good. But then, like, the first half of the movie, I thought it was a bit draggy, especially because it was just Peter trying to deal with his normal life and trying to balance everything. But then, like, the second half of the movie was really good, especially the action sequences. I thought Mysterio was really well executed. I mean, not execution, but like how his character
his portrayal
execution.
on
His
the
portrayal,
screen.
yeah. It was really good. They had a modern twist for him in comparison to what he is originally in the comics. I liked it. Yeah.
Okay. I like this movie particularly for the very simple reason that we got like a huge thing that happened in Endgame, and it set the mood, and it was all somber and oh no, we lost someone. And then this is more fun and light, and it's easy to take in, and you actually laugh in this movie, and you either laugh with Peter or at Peter.
Yep.
And Tom Holland's really good at that. His comedy timing, I think, is impeccable.
Yeah.
His portrayal of Peter Parker, to me, I think it's the Peter Parker.
Yes.
Whoa.
No, I think he's the Peter Parker
he-
and Spider-Man.
Maguire.
Maguire.
No.
Tobey Maguire, always to my deathbed.
Okay.
But I didn't like Tobey's Spider-Man. His Peter was alright. Do you guys get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
And then-
give you that.
Yeah, we have a new hero who is later revealed to be a villain, and that's played by, as you said, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
He's Mysterio. One critique I do have to say about the movie is I watched it actually twice, and the second time was with Zainal about an hour ago. When I first watched it, you could call the movie out. You could predict where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, that's fake. I'm like, all right, that's fake. We know, because the history of the character Quentin Beck is that he's a special effects artist or technician, and he's all about trickery.
Yeah.
And there has to be some element of trickery, and it was revealed that it was Stark Tech itself. But what I really liked also is that they shoehorned his character into the current MCU, where in Civil War, Tony Stark was giving that presentation, and it was the first time we saw him being de-aged to a younger Tony Stark, and he says that, oh, this is the last time I saw my parents alive, and apparently that tech was built by Quentin Beck.
Yep.
And then they also brought in another character who was in Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And I checked, he's the same guy who was in Iron Man 1, who was being yelled at by Obadiah Stane. And they showed a clip of it in the movie, and he was really angry, like, build an arc reactor like Tony Stark did. He said, I'm not Tony Stark. Well, he built it in a cave. You're useless. So these are very valid reasons for these ex-employees of Tony Stark to be angry at him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's enough of a motivation to do what they did.
Yeah.
It's like a
So
huge...
that's a huge shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice tie-in to the first Spider-Man Homecoming, where Vulture is also somebody who was
Affected by
Stark.
Yeah.
But that motivation was more believable than this one.
We also got to see some really, really cool sequences.
It was very trippy.
This is from this point on, we are going to include some spoilers. What we've talked about up until this point is things that you can see in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So moving forward, there are going to be spoilers. The sequences that I talked about were the illusion sequences.
Yes, that was very trippy and so cool.
They were very, very good. But again, the believability of it is...
Yeah, once you know how they did it, like, come on, that can't be. You can't just create it within 24 hours and then go into battle with Spider-Man and create all those things. Like, even the skeleton of Iron Man's suit.
Yeah.
Like, they just came out with that just like that within 24 hours and then presented it to Spider-Man.
I have a question though, because in the beginning sequences, and we see this in the trailer, so don't worry, they do fight the first elemental, which is the water elemental.
Yeah.
They could not have anticipated Peter Parker to join into the fight. Would they have known?
I think he would have.
Because having watched it the second time, there's a shot of Peter Parker and he goes through the water elemental.
And does he get wet?
He got
Yeah,
wet.
he got
Yeah.
wet.
How did all that happen?
Yeah, how did
So
the drones...
it's
Yeah.
not just the hologram, then they kind of...
I don't know
Yeah.
how.
Played
I
around
don't know how
with
it works.
water
Did they
as
have
well.
water
So how
cannons?
water cannons, but the drones had water cannons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
The
makes
drones
more
did
sense.
have water, but
Yeah.
maybe not that to that
Or
extent.
they just used the sonic the sonic
Just a
field
bunch.
thing and shot water out. Maybe I don't know. Let's talk.
That's a very good point, though.
Yeah.
That's a very
Yeah.
good point.
Let's talk about the love story.
Do we
Oh
have
my-
to?
do-
No, we have to address
Yeah, we
it.
have to though. I mean, like part
It's
of
sweet.
Peter's story is his trouble with women. You know, like MJ, and previously it was
Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy.
No,
but-
previously it wasn't Gwen Stacy.
From the
No,
last
no, I
movie.
mean like from the previous movies.
Oh.
Like
In comics,
in comics, it's always trouble with women.
Gwen Stacy wasn't in the previous movies.
No, she was not. She was in
No.
the
No, I
Andrew
mean,
Garfield
like,
one.
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Garfield,
but, like,
which
it's
was
a-
the best relationship movie.
I know.
No,
that
wait, what?
Romance.
I liked his.
Did no one bother? Is no one bothered with how quickly he moved on? We're like, yeah, I'm fine.
No, he didn't move on.
He did.
He didn't.
From who? What? From Gwen?
from killing Gwen Stacy.
No,
No,
he
they
didn't. He was
should, like-
devastated.
They
And then-
should.
And then what?
Okay.
What was the ending of this movie? You got anyone remember?
No, they had a montage of him like just staring at her grave for months and seasons.
And then the last shot in that movie, he went up against Rhino,
yeah.
and that was it.
And he was fine, right?
No, he's not
Not
fine.
fine, but he
just
Should be devastated.
Physically, he's
Yeah.
fine.
he just
Emotionally.
Yeah.
he understood that
He was cracking jokes.
That he had
Killed
to.
someone. No jokes.
That was a painful movie to watch.
I know. It hurt me.
Until that point.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
then it became unbevelievable.
Anyway, back to
Back to
MJ.
this
back to this
way.
movie. MJ's played by Zendaya
Yeah.
again. You can see that she's grown. She's physically taller
Yeah, I know.
now than Tom Holland. And
Is she still growing?
No.
He stopped.
He stopped growing. I thought it was some of the awkward scenes were really cute, but also some of them were unnecessary because, like, in the previous movie, she wasn't that awkward. She was more like...
She was more cool.
Yeah, she's cooler.
Like she always had this like, I suspect you're doing something else, but I don't know.
But here, it shifted, like...
Because she... Wait.
Yeah.
Because she...
Has a crush on him. Is that why she's awkward?
Yeah.
Ah.
And she's going through the age where hormones flying around. So she used to be cool. Like, yeah, whatever. Now she's like, oh, boys.
She's all giddy. Speaking of boys, we were in the cinema, and for some strange reason, there were a lot of like teenage girls in there, obviously with their families. And there was that row in front of us where it was a whole family.
Okay.
But the girls would scream every time Tom Holland was on the screen.
Yeah.
And
Like, a giggle. And then there was a scene where he took off his shirt
Wow.
to change.
And
There was a scene where he took off his shirt?
Yeah, because
I don't even remember this.
Yes.
Because
You
I'm not a
blanked out?
teenage girl.
I just know because... Okay, so it was the scene where he ran back after discovering that it was a projector. And then he changed back into his, like, the black suit.
yeah.
The spider monkey suit.
Oh, no, there was
Okay.
another scene where he kind of was asked to strip in front of the blonde
Yeah.
agent.
To try on the suit.
Yeah.
In no reality and multiverse would Peter Parker, when asked to take off his clothes, go for his pants first.
Well,
No!
Wait, why not?
You would take off your shirt first when you're asked to undress, right?
Which
Not
part-
your
no,
pants.
depending on which part of your body you're most insecure about.
So maybe he was
I would
insecure
put
about
on.
his...
I would keep my shoes on the whole time.
Okay.
all right. Happy Hogan is in this movie. We
Best
saw that
part of
in
the
the
scene.
trailer.
I like that
I like
dynamic.
it.
It's so cute.
I like how he served as the emotional anchor in this movie. So he was like the bridge that reminded him, like, look, if Tony didn't think you were worthy of that, he wouldn't have chosen you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came at a perfect time where Peter felt that he had messed up so badly. Oh, we didn't talk about this. That he's given Tony Stark's
Edith.
glasses,
Yeah.
which we now know is called Edith, but
Yeah.
he renamed it before giving it over. I guess
Oh, was it?
because he would not have named it Edith
Yeah.
before he died.
That's true. Even
Right?
dead, I'm still the hero.
Correct. Like I don't think you would name something like that
Okay.
unless he was really grim.
Maybe he... Yeah, probably
Yeah,
him.
and Peter messes up really bad by not knowing or not understanding the power that he has
Yeah.
in those glasses. We saw a little bit of these glasses being used in Endgame
Yep.
back in the 70s where he was scanning. But now we know that it has AI and it has... it's Edith. It's not Friday, right?
No, it's
No
Edith.
Friday.
It is.
So it's
Not
it's a whole different system.
Even the voice actor is different.
The voice actor is different. I have a question about this whole Edith thing.
Is it compatible? Is it?
No, we do know that Pepper Potts is now running Stark Industries.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she know if all those drones were released from the sky?
Very good question.
Doesn't
Kev.
she have a big shutdown button to know that oh no, it's causing havoc and I'm gonna shut all them down?
Probably does.
They probably have,
that's- see,
they
this is-
will address this maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Where she goes,
Probably,
I
like-
was asleep. It happened very quickly.
This is a problem. Like throughout the whole movie, or the part when they say call Thor, he's off world. Call somebody not available. Like, is that the only two person that you can call out of all of the
Yeah.
Avengers?
Why couldn't they
That's
call...
where, that's where it didn't link. You see, with even it makes sense only at the end credit scene after you know who they are.
Yeah, but even then it doesn't because Nick Fury left them in charge-ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
But do they not still have contact?
Oh no!
No,
but,
no, they
then
don't.
it wasn't it like established because that was not the real Nick Fury.
Yeah.
They just needed. That's why they just needed Spider-Man. Like
They think
their
that-
mission was just to give Edith.
Yeah, their mission was to just give you this.
That was it.
But it only
Right?
makes sense when you see the end credit
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
So throughout that whole movie, it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Actually, now hearing you say it, yeah.
Wait. Meaning they were part of the plan, like having Mysterio.
No.
No. So the Skrulls discovered Mysterio, or I don't know, they bump into each other one day having coffee or something, and then they decided that they wanted to do stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Including
Do
giving
stuff.
Edith the...
No,
Edith
that was
was
part
the
of
main-
Mysterio's plan. When he met up with Nick Fury, or when he lured Nick Fury to the Mexico,
yeah.
that's when they first met, and then that's when the plan was put in motion.
So this movie potentially only took place and Mysterio took it to where he took it because it's not the real Nick Fury or Murray Hill. Because, I mean, they would have seen through it very quickly.
Yeah.
If it was the real Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And my follow-up question to that is, whatever happened to Dimitri?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he a Skrull as well?
Was he a Skrull or was he actually a human?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's never shown because he ended just being a driver.
Yeah. That's why this writing is really terrible.
Oh man, you're dismantling this movie in front of me right now.
Now you're feeling okay.
But you've been dismantling it since the beginning.
That's true.
Okay, best part of the movie. Best part was when on the plane, Happy and
Yes, I agree.
Peter, and then he looked at Peter and he had that look, and Peter didn't know what it meant, but we do, and that's what got me.
Yeah.
That's what got me.
Because it really does, resemble the first shots of Tony Stark building the Mark II.
Yeah.
And he's like in a lab setting, and you see the hologram over his arm, and then Happy says, you do the suit, I'll take care of the music.
And then it was
he plays
Iron Man.
he plays AC/DC Back in Black.
Yeah.
And that's the first bit of music we hear from Iron Man.
Yeah.
In Afghanistan. And Peter Parker, in his ultimate wisdom, says, "Oh, I love Led Zeppelin." And it's not Led Zeppelin; it's AC/DC.
Second best part of the movie: Happy Hogan again throwing the metallic shield.
The shield.
I know.
I love that.
He threw it as he was closing the door at the drone. Oh, how does Cap do it?
It's really funny.
All right,
best part of the movie, actually, best part.
Okay,
first credit scene.
First credit
scene, yes.
They got the same guy,
J. Jonah Jameson,
actor.
Oh yes,
is back.
Play,
but he's older.
JJJ.
He's older.
But this one's like from I think the PS4 games. From Daily Bugle instead of like a newspaper.
Yeah.
It's a
blog.
It's
blog.
online. It's
online
a dailybugle.net.
Yeah, it's not even a .com.
He's like an Infowars type character where it's all conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
There's two post-credit scenes, one mid-credit and one post-credit. Sorry. Do stay and watch that because it does add a little bit to the overall story, and it kind of gives you a hint of where this arc is going for the next movie.
It's great.
And for the MCU, actually.
For the MCU. All right, let's give our ratings for Spider-Man Far From Home. Let's start off with Del.
It's a problem when your best scenes are Happy Hogan and J. Jonah Jameson. So this movie, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Which is okay. It's above average.
Okay.
All right. Zainal.
I haven't had time to really digest it, but going from the feel of getting out of the cinema right away, I feel good about it.
9 out of 10.
I'll give it 8 backflips out of 10.
All right, Nazu.
I give it an 8 elementals out of 10.
8 elementals.
Yeah.
I watched this movie actually earlier this week with Kai, and right as we came out of the cinema, he said, like, look, what do you give this movie? Because he had some problems, and I think he's on the same page as Del when it comes to the writing. And I was like ecstatic. I was happy. I thought it was a good movie. I said, look, this is a 9 for me. But having discussed it now on the podcast, I'm going to have to take it one peg down and give it an 8.
Yeah.
You were going to give it a 9.
I mean, when I first saw it on Tuesday. And I saw it again today, and now we're discussing about it. I'm like, wait, there's so many issues. I mean, in terms of realism.
Yeah.
But it's not big issues. You're not going to call them out as you watch them unless you're very nitpicky. This is overall a fun movie.
I thought it was fun.
Bring the family, bring the kids. There's nothing too lewd in here. It is, I guess, aimed at teenagers. Because
you get to see Tom Holland topless.
And also pants down.
And awkward, cute teenage moments. I guess.
Between Zendaya and
which I thought was not relevant.
And there's like a surprise twist also because his best friend Ned, the guy in the chair, ends up with Betty and has like a summer romance with
I know, and then he grows up.
And then he grows up into a man apparently.
No, the funny thing is like when they sat down, Aunt May and Happy Hogan. What? I thought this was a summer thing.
All right, so that's our review of Spider-Man Far From Home. It's still showing here in local cinemas. Do check it out. Up next.
Oi, apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, 看什么看? Apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat?
你看什么看?
Apa liat-liat? See what see? 笑了.
Yep, it's Up Liat Liat, and it's what else we've been watching besides Spider-Man Far From Home. Del, what's up?
I somehow put on this movie that was one of Zainal's like most anticipated movie, which
Wait.
which made nothing.
I know what this is.
Yeah.
Mortal Engines.
Yeah. Mortal Engines.
Mary Poppins Return, no?
Number one and most anticipated movie by Zainal for summer of 18?
18, yeah.
18.
Yeah. What was I doing?
So it was not terrible. It was not
decent.
good, but it was watchable.
It was better than Spider-Man Far From Home?
I would say like 6 out of 10. So Far From Home is still slightly better, but this one, it's just the way that certain things were written was kind of lazy, and they didn't build that world enough. But it was a very nice world, very rich source material to begin with, that they are able to create all these, like the cities are on wheels, like Zainal said, and was so excited for.
Wow.
The whole mythology behind it is very interesting, and even the fight scenes were quite decent, and the ending was also like made me want to look forward to another movie about this world.
Oh,
I want to watch the second one, but then
so you're on board.
6 out of 10 if you call that on board, sure.
No, what gave it the impression that you're on board is the fact that you want to watch a sequel.
I don't mind. I mean, I want to watch a sequel to the new Ghostbusters too, but doesn't mean that it's a fantastic movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. All right.
Okay, you didn't have to bring that in.
Next up, Zainal, apa liat?
I accidentally clicked on Orange the New Black. And
Accidentally.
then I've been binging on that. I've gone down 2 seasons. And I'm like, why did I not pick this up earlier? It's very fun.
I tried. I couldn't do it. I think I got through like a season.
Yeah?
I got through an episode and then I gave up.
You gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to decipher what about it, because I've been talking to friends and they're like, it's really bad. And I'm like, yes, so bad, so good.
I did watch the first episode, and while midway through, I'm like, oh, this series is not aimed at me. Then I switched it off.
All right.
Is it aimed at me? I don't know.
Nazz, apa liat?
I started watching Stranger Things season 3. I thought the first 3 episodes, the pace was quite slow. Especially the first episode. I was like, what?
It's really slow.
It's so slow. Like, I could sleep. But I didn't want to, because then they always end with a cliffhanger. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch another one. We reached episode 3 and started episode 4. And the pace just immediately, sped up.
Wait till you get to episode 6.
Oh,
Ooh,
damn.
I made the mistake of having my lunch while I was eating that.
Oh, no.
While I was watching it, and ooh,
I'm stuck on Stranger Things season 1, episode 1.
are you still there?
because the pace was so. What was it? The 7th time restarting?
It gets much better.
It gets so much
Try
I
better.
can't get through the first episode.
Let's start on the second episode.
Start on the second. And then you'll realize, like, maybe I should watch the first episode.
Yeah, I'll go back
Yeah.
there.
All right, I'm just like Nazz. I've been watching Stranger Things this week. It's really, really good for what they've. It's like out of nothing.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, who are the brothers? The Coen brothers? No,
Yeah.
not the Coen brothers.
I forgot. I don't know.
Okay, I don't remember
But
who.
What's the name of the sister's best friend in the first season?
The sister's best friend. Oh, Bet.
Forgot her name.
Justice for
Vern. Justice for, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of.
Bernadette. No,
I don't know. But basically her.
I can't remember.
I still want to see that.
But she's gone.
Yeah.
We saw that
Yeah.
at the end of season 1.
True.
Okay, anyway, so that's what we've been watching, and that's the show this week, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me and listening. I'd like to thank my co-hosts. We have Del, Zainal, and Nazz, and here's a treat for you. Afif is in the room, but he's been really, really quiet.
You've been fact checking.
He's been fact-checking.
He's our fact-checker.
He's been gesturing like,
Yeah. That's right. That's wrong.
Yeah.
all right, so we'll see you on the next episode. Next week, what are we reviewing? I think it's going to be Rocketman.
Oh.
Okay.
It's coming out.
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, Rocketman
Here.
is next week. And yeah, well, if it is coming out, we'll be sure to give you a review on that. And don't forget, we've got some shows, we've got a show lined up at the end of this coming week, which is Friday.
Friday,
And
RBRC.
maybe another one. We're not sure yet. It all depends. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next episode of the podcast. Bye.
Liat.